Hey guys, welcome.
Welcome.
Today I'm here with Gary. We're going to discuss with you the biggest surprise of being married to a foreigner, being married to you, honey.
Biggest surprises, I can't wait.
Let's get started.
Honey, we've been married almost 4 years. We've been together, actually 6 years in December. So what are the biggest surprises that you have discovered being married to a foreigner?
I think being married to you, the biggest surprise first is the wisdom.
Wow.
Yeah, you have.
I have wisdom?
Yeah, you have so much knowledge about life. That surprised me.
That surprises me too.
I don't know if it has something to do with you being a Western man. I think it's just your age. I don't mean to say you're old, but you're old enough to know about a lot of knowledge in life.
Well, I think that especially us older generation, of course we have a little more wisdom. We've lived a lot longer, had a lot more experiences, been through most things in life, and in my case as well, I've lived in 4 different countries in my life, so I've got experience with dealing with different cultures and living in different places. So yeah, I've probably gained some wisdom.
Yes, and that's something that surprised me. And also every decision you but it comes with a wise decision.
Yeah,
I would
doesn't always mean it's a good decision.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I have so much question about you. You notice for being together for over 5 years now, and I ask you a lot, and I think I've learned so much about you.
I hope so.
Yeah. Yes, and also you're like, I would consider human. I think I've
learned what?
Human dictionary. I would say, because I've learned so much just from you. If you compared it during my school days, I think I've learned more being with you.
Well, hopefully you're learning the right stuff then. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not right about everything. So.
Yeah, to us Filipino, actually foreigners would consider intelligence, but I think in your country maybe you're just an average. But for me, you're very intelligent.
I think I'm pretty average intelligence.
In your country.
But I do possess a wonderful sense of common sense.
Yes.
I've always felt that I've been gifted with common sense. Some things in life just seem very clear to me and obvious.
Yeah.
So now, are you doing this in order of biggest to least biggest things?
Yes.
So that was the biggest?
Yeah, that was the biggest.
I'm glad to hear that.
Next is probably you transform me into a better version of myself. I think you're one of the biggest influence in my life,
Well, let's be
honest. You would agree with that one?
Well, No, I think that you can take the credit for turning yourself into the person that you are. I'm happy that I can be a positive influence on your life.
Yeah, good influence.
You're the one that made the decisions that you made, so your changes and how you've grown is a credit to you, not so much me. I
think you should also take credit, because you're the reflection.
Well, that goes both ways then, because you've changed me a lot too, and helped me see things differently. So
yeah.
I think that's when you've got 2 people that
work together,
that love each other, you tend to influence each other. So.
Yeah. And I think one of the reason is you don't tolerate my bad side. Like, if you notice, that my action is not that so good, you usually tell me and correct me.
Well, I can be quite blunt, yeah.
Very honest.
I say, that's one of my maybe it's a bad thing, I don't know, but I often say what I think before I think about what I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's something surprised me too. That's in my list, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, you being so honest and very straightforward. I think it can be a good and bad.
What, being honest?
Yeah, being honest is good.
I can't think of any reasons why it'd be bad, to be honest.
Yeah. I used to find it, I used to get offended when you're too honest. Like, I'll give you an example. Like,
Well,
when I
let
cook
me-
you something and you don't like it, you would literally tell me that you don't like the food.
Okay. There's a difference between being honest and being insulting.
Oh.
So of course, we wouldn't want to say things to hurt people's feelings. But if you can, like the example you gave, if you made something that I didn't like, I wasn't insulting about it or rude about it. I would tell you in the gentlest, most respectful way so that you could know that I'm hoping you won't ever make that again.
Yeah.
Because if I was to lie and say, wow, honey, you're the best, that's a wonderful meal, I might be getting it weekly. And that wouldn't be a good thing.
That makes sense to me.
Oh yeah, it is common sense.
Yes,
I told you
exactly. That's something surprised me, and I like that. You know.
Yeah. Now, of course, there's this point. If you're getting ready to go out for the evening or something, and let's say you've done your hair a different way or something, and maybe I personally think, oh, I liked it better before. And you say, hi, how do I look tonight? I would probably say you look great, honey. And not kind of make you feel bad because you made a change.
Yeah.
Not that I think that's ever happened. I'm just giving an example where, I might not. I guess that's not being honest, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You would say it in a different way.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I guess the point is I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Yeah. That's something surprised me too. You're good at communicator. You're good communicating to people, I would say.
It depends on the person I'm communicating with.
Yeah, like to me, I used to have tampo. Like, I don't like to, I'm that kind of person. I'm not good at communication. I usually just, leave it and don't talk things out. And you're so good at it.
Well, not anymore. I'm not, because I've learned. I've learned it's better not to talk things out. It's better to, keep calm and just be patient.
Yeah. And also when it comes to others, you've learned how to say no. You set boundaries. Like, I'll give you an example. The last week, we had we need our grass to get trimmed off, and there's people come over and they ask a lot of money. And me, I was feeling doesn't want to confront them, but you said, oh, you have to learn to say no. Like,
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, because you had someone that was referred by a friend that came
Yes,
over with
yes.
you, and they quoted a ridiculously high price.
Yeah.
But because you know the people and you don't like to
Yeah,
say
yeah.
no, whereas me, I just look at it as a transaction, and I think, well, wait a minute, I think they're taking advantage here because I'm a foreigner, so I'm just straight up sorry. No, I can't afford that. It's too much.
Yeah, and I was trying to hesitate to confront them, but you told me,
I'll tell them
honey,
straight, yeah.
you have to learn how to say no to people. And I like that.
Right.
Yeah, I like that's something surprised me too, but I like learning that, So
Yeah.
that's why I said you have taught me a lot of stuff, and you've influenced me into, so many things. And also, when it comes to parenting, I was really surprised about how...
Really?
Yes!
Interesting.
Parenting. You've noticed...
What surprised you about that?
Well, me growing up, I used to, hit my parents, and that's how Philippine discipline, right? Sometimes they can be very violent, and I also adapt that. At first, when we first living together, and I like how you correct me. You can, talk to the kids in a nice way. You don't have to yell. I like yelling. I used to yell a lot. You make so much sense when it comes to discipline to the kids. How protective you are. And that surprised me. Like Advance, you said you always get frustrated when I let the kids jumping on the bed, and you said you can see things in the future, like what's gonna happen.
Well, I anticipate when I think that something can result in an injury or an accident. Yeah, sometimes and maybe it won't happen, but I like to prevent the possibility.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't have the kids have fun. Of course, jumping up on the bed's fine, but sometimes they get a little too crazy. Where they're sprinting from one side of the bed to the other, and almost hovering on the edge, and yeah. So.
And I'll tell you why I find it surprising, because growing up, it's normal for us just to let the kids, you even saw the kids in the street, like 3 years old walking, right?
That drives me
Alone?
crazy. That's one of the things I can't get used to with this culture, is when you see small little children wandering out, sometimes on a somewhat busy street, with no adult inside. And we see it all the time. I saw a couple of times just a few days, a little kid walking the street. He must have been 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
So there's no, on the, walking literally on the edge of the street there. And
Small street, and then the car goes.
Takes one driver who's on his cell phone or not paying attention just for a second, doesn't see, because there's not much room to pass.
Yeah.
You know, when we pass these people walking down the street, it's by like just inches sometimes.
Yeah.
And you know, a little kid's harder to see, so it's just, I just don't get it. I just don't know how a parent could allow their children outside the boundaries of their house by themselves.
Yeah.
I don't get, sorry, going on a tangent about that, but that's just wrong.
Yeah. So anyway, next is your sarcastic humor.
Oh.
I have to include that one. Yes.
I am. That's surprising to you?
It is.
Well, it was. It's not anymore, is it? Actually, I think it still is. You still don't.
I'm adapting it. I think sometimes.
You still don't get it. I'm extremely sarcastic. It's just, that's the British in me.
Yeah.
You know, growing up, and yeah, I'm a very sarcastic person.
But sometimes I think I find it funny now.
Yeah. I think it's funny, but some people don't.
I think just because our humor is different, Philippine. So when I hear your humor, sometimes I find it shocking actually. That, you know, sometimes you think it's funny.
We definitely have a different sense of humor, and we react differently to humor.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure one day we'll do a video on the biggest surprises about being married to a Filipina. But yeah, the way you react to humor is a big surprise. The way you fall on the floor laughing, slapping everybody in sight. It's like, that's always surprising to me.
Did that surprise you?
Yeah. Well, because when I find something funny, I don't normally belly laugh or fall over.
That's also surprised me. Like, you know, I make so much effort to make him laugh, and he's just like,
But it doesn't mean I don't find
funny.
it funny, or I'm laughing more on the inside. I just don't express it the same way you do.
Yeah, I guess sometimes I get frustrated because, you know, I'll make a joke and then Gary was just like, yeah, that's funny. He doesn't laugh, like, you know.
Well, I do laugh, just, you know, not compared with you, I guess, but you've got a unique laugh, so.
Another thing that's I find it surprising about being married to you is I think how much you appreciate me. Like, it's first the beauty. You know that, right? When you first met me, I wasn't not that confident about myself. I think you know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love how Gary appreciate me, how appreciate the things I do for you. I love that. And I think first I find it surprising, but now I understand, like, you know, the small things, because for Filipino it's normal for us, like, if you get sick, to put towel on your forehead and this to make you soup or something. Sometimes some Filipina even spoon feed their husband when they get sick. So I was surprised how much you see it, like how much you appreciate it, because when it comes to local guys, Filipino, it's normal for us to care for our husband.
So made me think how much I'm looking forward to doing this video now with you about surprising things. Because I think I remember the first time when I saw, I think it was Bless, that I know she was having, I think it might have been hiccups that time, and she'd come up with dots of paper all over her head or whatever. And I'm like, what is this? And then you tried to convince me that it was a medical remedy for hiccups or something by sticking a piece of paper on your forehead.
I know.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, you find it shocking.
No, this is your video for surprises about foreigners, so I just thought I'd throw that in there. That's a preview to the video we do next, I guess.
Yeah.
Or maybe not next, but in the future.
Yeah, so, you know, I mentioned that, you know, if you get sick, you got pain, like, we have so much ritual, and I can see how much you know, appreciate it. I don't know if the women, the Western, they don't do that.
I know.
Take to the doctor like that. That's what they do.
That's a normal thing to do, yeah.
And us, it's like we have so much ritual. Do you notice?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So I find it surprising how you react when I do things for you, and also how you appreciate our beauty, because I think you know that Filipina that have darker skin and big eyes, flat nose. you know, we feel invisible when it comes to local guys, and I love how you appreciate my beauty, and that's give me confident. Yeah.
Good. A man should make their wife feel confident.
So this is the last one. Responsible, being responsible. You know.
That's a big surprise to you?
Yeah, it is surprising for me because.
In what way?
Like you make being married to you, because I see growing up, I see my mom how, like, you know, life is hard being a wife for her. Like she make money, she take care of the family. It's like being married to you, I find life easier. Like being a wife, you make it easy because I think we're helping each other. We're like a team. Like you're a good provider. Not right now.
Well, that's not true.
But so far, like...
You know what? No, I'm going to correct you on that one. I'm going to correct you on that one because I'm in the kind of business that does go through these cycles, where, especially slow seasons, but I usually have enough money saved up and put away to get us through. So although I'm having a rough couple of months, as in not bringing any income in, I have the money to draw from.
Yeah, that's why...
So you know... So I'm still providing.
Yes.
When we have to move and sell our car, then you can make that comment.
Yeah, that's why I make it responsible. I like the way you plan things, you know, for the future. Like, we have survival for this, you know, like how many right now we have now.
Well, that's a Western mindset as well, more so than Asian. I'm living in, you know, Asia. Not just, it's the same kind of mentality in China.
Oh yeah.
Where people just don't seem to look ahead very well.
Yes.
And Western people are often thinking and planning, you know, for things ahead of time. You know, with finances, we're always looking ahead. We always want to have a plan, or we always want to know we've got, like in my case, so many months survival if money stops coming in. Whereas I think the mentality in Asia is more of a day by day sort of attitude, and you know, or month by month, I don't know, but they don't often look down the road and think, wow, what if this happens, or what if that happens, how would I deal with this?
Yes, like health care, right? You save up for that, you know, you prepare money for that. In Philippines, they don't do that. In Asia,
well, that's why when they get sick, they won't go to a doctor. They'll let problems get worse, or they end up having to go to the community kind of hospitals, where it's like, I think they usually make you more sick than when you get there, you know, when you go to that kind of hospital. But no, it's very important to be able to think about things like, you know, what if you get sick? Do you have coverage, or do you have money? Things like that are important.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's very important being, you know, financially responsible. Yeah, I would say. Yeah. So yes, I find it shocking because growing up, we didn't do that. Like we work day, that's the day survival. Like how much my mom and my dad make in a day, that's our survival for the day. We don't have even like a month, like, you know, we don't prepare for that.
That's your list of biggest surprises?
Yes, that's my
thank
list.
Goodness for that, because I could have sworn you were going to come up with something like the biggest surprise was the first night I stayed in a hotel room with you.
No. No.
But thank goodness you didn't bring that one up. Okay.
So anyway, that's our video for today, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Thank you, honey, for being with me in this video. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye. God bless everyone.